with us right now. We've talked about it all week. So let's welcome to the program Rachelle Leah. Rachelle, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Things are great. We're going to talk, obviously, a little bit about the Playboy magazine. But first, for the one or two people that don't know the story, tell everybody how you went from basically paramedic school to now this issue of Playboy.
I know. I'm definitely real lucky. I live in Las Vegas, and that's basically home base of the UFC. And back then when I was doing this paramedic school, I was also just doing little modeling gigs around Vegas just for extra money. And my picture wound up on a boxing website, and Dana and Lorenzo saw it and thought, you know what, we want her in here to be an Octagon girl. And when I met with them, I said, I would love to be that, but I also, I want to host a television show like these. So my ultimate goal would be to move up the ladder with you guys. Is that an option or opportunity that could be possible? And they're like, anything's possible. Let's just get you in here and get the Octagon girl started. And, I did it for about a year, and they had me doing a bunch of radio work and little promotional things, just being the female face. And they thought they loved what I did, and they said, we've got this show, we want you to be hosting it, and how do you feel? So I pretty much screamed. And now here I am. Now I'm on the cover of Playboy. I host a show on Spike TV called UFC All Access, and I'm just loving life.
Talk a little bit about the TV show All Access, because I kind of compare that a little bit to some of the shows that I do, in the fact that we don't just talk about what happens in the ring, in the cage. We try to get the fans to know who these guys are. And as you know, all these guys are great, great guys.
They really are, and that's what I love about my show is it's the only one that really gets you an all-around look at these guys. Like, the real fan wants to know what they're like outside of the octagon, and that's what I really want people to see. Like, I just filmed an episode with Anderson Silva, and he is 180 degrees different than what he is in the octagon. When he's outside of it, he's like a big kid. He's humble. He's silly. And those are the things that make the people that are training and waking up every day of their life because they want to be Anderson Silva or Chuck Liddell. That makes them realize, it is possible. They're human, and that's what I love about my show. And then you get to see all their training stuff, and they really get in depth with what they talk about with it, and how they eat. That's a huge deal, the nutrition part of it. So I get the best of the best with it. I love my show.
So how are you able to separate the show as you get to know these guys, on a very close basis, to then you see two guys that you've interviewed, two guys that are now friends of yours? How can you sit back? Because it's difficult for me to sit back and watch these two guys
fight, right?
Right.
That it's weird because I do real well with separating it, but you do naturally get a little bit of a butterfly in your stomach almost. It's like you knot up a little because you care and you want. It's not just like, oh, they might get hurt. It's nothing about that. It's you really want them to succeed. You want them to be great. So it's hard to watch. What I always think is, if it's two people I like fighting each other, then basically I just want them both to go out on a good note. You know what I mean? I don't want them to get knocked the F out. I want it to be, a healthy loss.
Right. A good fight. I remember when Matt Hughes and Frank Trigg fought, I told them both, because I'm friends with both of them, I'm going to be more upset for who loses than happy for who wins.
Because you want to see your friends do well.
No, exactly. Now, what was Dana's comment and the Fertitta's comments, and how did this whole with Playboy? Did Playboy come to you? Did Dana and Lorenzo and Frank
Dana called me. Dana called me and was like, Playboy wants you to be on the cover. How do you feel about that? And I said, wow. First I was kind of stunned, and then the thought of being nude went through my brain for a minute, and then I thought, okay, the cover of Playboy, Marilyn Monroe was on the cover of Playboy. Cindy Crawford's been on the cover of Playboy. That's huge. It's such an honor. So I called my parents and talked to them about it, and they gave me the approval, and that was the number one thing. I'm Sicilian, so we've got a real tight-knit, close family, and I really respect, their opinion on things. So once they gave me the okay, I called them back, and I said, I'm in. Let's do it.
Now, when you got the phone call, you said a minute. Is that how long it took you for you to decide to make the call to the parents?
No, a minute meaning I needed to take a minute. It's slang.
No, I understand.
A day or two.
I just didn't know how quickly, the decision was made, because like you said, some of the biggest names in the history of the world have been on the cover of Playboy.
That's the thing that it's not a hard one to, really decide on. I think that it's such a work. It's it's like an art book to me. I don't really see. I mean, I see it as being nothing but great, and I look at the things that it's doing. I haven't stopped since the covers come out. I've been going nonstop. I don't even I got home yesterday for the first time in a few weeks, and I forgot. I don't even remember what my place looks like anymore. I get home and I'm like, oh, this is where I live.
Now, we're going to be giving a couple issues away later on in the program, but talk a little bit about the photo shoot itself. How much input did you have? Did they just tell you, I haven't even seen it yet, so did they tell you what you had to wear, or is there any UFC logoed stuff involved? Or tell us a little bit about the shoot itself.
It was, I really had a cool idea for the shoot because I really wanted it to be classy and timeless, but I still wanted to represent where I come from, which is the UFC. So I told them it would be imagine being a guy who's obviously, most men are fans of the UFC, and opening it and having there be a white octagon bed with silk sheets. That's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
So they built an entire octagon bed for me.
Really?
And had silk white satin sheets, and they built a huge regular full-size chrome octagon with chrome padding and chrome punching bags and it was just a real contemporary, sexy feel. And I definitely got to have, I had input in it, and I had a lot of creative say, which made me feel good. That's the way I like to do any of my work, including my television show. So they built the set. They said it was one of their highest priced sets they've ever built, which made me feel great. And it turned out beautiful.
Now, when you go and do the autograph signings from the UFC, and I know that there's one next Friday, I don't know if you'll be involved in that, do you anticipate signing more of the Playboy magazines than the UFC pictures?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that's all I've been signing lately.
Interesting.
People are real big into collecting things, and people will have my magazine before I even see it. That's how it goes when they're hardcore fans. And the UFC fans are the best.
Oh, absolutely.
They all have followed me through all these years, and they're the only reason that I have a job,
I have to be honest with you. I've had more people tell me, if you don't get Rachelle on, we're not going to listen to the program anymore. I've had people.
That makes me feel great.
I get those calls all the time because I'll post on our website, and people know Knockout Radio, and I've been around with the UFC since UFC 6, and that I get all these guys on there. Well, that's great that you get Chuck on. When's Rachelle? That's great that you're getting Tito on. When's Rachelle? That's great that you're getting Randy Couture on. That's all I keep getting is to get you on. It's got to be a great feeling.
It's a wonderful feeling. That makes me. I haven't heard anything like that before, so thank you. That makes me feel great. Hopefully, people keep listening now. I'll come on your show anytime.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll talk about it next week when I come out for the fight. Talk about now from the Playboy magazine. I understand some more stuff is coming, like some movies and such.
I did. I filmed a movie called The Bleeding. That comes out in 2009, and it's with Michael Madsen, Vinnie Jones. He's in a lot of the Guy Ritchie movies. Armand Asante, he's an Academy Award winner. We got DMX in it, Kat Von D. I'm the lead female in the movie. My character's name is Lena, and she's a tough girl. I get to do a little bit of, I don't know if you can say that ASS word, but I do a little bit of that, kicking in that. Get to slam a guy's face through some glass. So I had fun with it.
And I understand.
So, what's that?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, as far as what else I'm doing, it's just I haven't stopped. I just got done hosting the UFC video game. They're making an action figure of me. I'm super excited about that. And just, I'm a workaholic, so I'll try anything.
Wow, that's cool, the action figure. Now, you briefly mentioned, and everybody knows about you, everybody knows that you host the All Access. My question, and I don't know if this question's for you or if I should address Dana with it Thursday at the press conference, when will there be an All Access about you?
It's so funny. People ask me that all the time. I don't know.